Hi everyone, Comic Reviewer here. This time reviewing on Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rodrick Rules. Now, as you know, Diary of a Wimpy Kid, Rodrick Rules is meant to be a sequel to the 2010 film Diary of a Wimpy Kid, and is meant to be based on the 2008 book Rodrick Rules. Now, the premise of the movie is meant to feature Greg and Rodrick, who end up being forced to spend time together by the mum Susan as well as the father. And you can kind of tell Susan expects Greg and Rodrick to kind of get along, start becoming better siblings, and does try to bribe them. And we are introduced to Greg's new year at the 7th grade. And you can kind of tell as well that Greg's teacher, Mr. Drybick, is a little cautious of Greg. And you can kind of tell he knows that he's a bit cautious that Greg's going to be like Rodrick without giving him a fair chance. And we kind of see how Greg is into this new girl known as Holly. And you can kind of tell Holly's this new girl basically is more of this item for Greg's affection. And I think my only personal gripe with the second one, I feel when you had Chloe Grace Moretz' character, Angie, she was kind of the voice of reason. So it would have been nice to have still seen her as the third friend to Greg and Rowley. And the movie did imply that she was going to be the best friend character. But no, they just shoved her on the sidelines. And we kind of see how over time, after Greg covers for Rodrick, and we kind of see how Rodrick is quick to let Greg enter his world, that comes with dangerous repercussions and some consequences. You can kind of tell Rodrick starts to become this bad influence, but you can tell that he's trying to help Greg come out of his shell. And I think at the same time it does become more of a dangerous repercussion for the both of them. And I would say the movie has an important message that when siblings fight, they fight. But when they get along, they start to find common grounds with each other. Which I think definitely works. And I feel what's actually interesting is when we see how Rodrick slowly starts to build up his band, and we kind of see how he brings in a new member who's kind of this deadbeat, you can kind of tell that Greg's father basically knows he's a loser and basically knows that Rodrick can do much better. And I think the point of the new band member Bill is meant to be a message about trying to find a different goal, but at the same time being careful of finding a better career. And I think at the same time with the second film, I would say that it still tries to keep up with Greg being the wimpy kid, and basically you can kind of tell some of the characters have aged. For example, when you've got the third child, yeah, he has aged slightly. And when you kind of got some of the cast still looking the same, kind of shows they have aged slightly, but not completely. So I think, in my opinion, the second film is alright. I think it knows what it wants to tell for a story, and it's a moment you can kind of tell that Greg and Rodrick do care about each other, but I think the message about them finding common grounds definitely works. So I think the movie deserves a thumbs up. Still good, and still alright. So, Comic Reviewer here, signing out.